Okay, let's take a look at problem 21. We're looking ultimately for the 10th term in a series. The first thing we know is that a term is given by the expression 2 plus a subscript n minus 1 over 2. Well, what is a with a subscript n minus 1 mean? It really means the term before. So like if a sub n had a 5, a sub n minus 1 would have a 5 minus 1, which would be a 4. So if I had a second term, let's say I wanted to find out what a2 was, I would put in 2 plus my first term. Let's make sure I draw my line correctly. 2 plus my first term, which is negative 30, all over 2. So that would give me an a2 of negative 28 over 2, which is negative 14. All right, I still don't know what kind of series this is, so I got to do one more term to figure this out. A3, what I have to do there is take 2 plus the term before, which would be negative 14, all over 2. So that works out to be negative 12 all over 2, which is negative 6. So I have a problem here. This really isn't an arithmetic sequence, and it's not a geometric sequence. And here's why I know that. If I take negative 14 and subtract negative 30, that's not going to be the same as negative 6 minus negative 14. Over here, I'm going to get negative 14 plus 30, which is 16. And then negative 6 plus 14 is 8. So those aren't equal. And I know there's no common ratio because negative 6 over negative 14 is 3/7. And negative 14 over 30, negative 30 is 7 over 15. So those aren't equal either. So the only way for me I can figure out how to do this is if I just keep plugging and chugging. So I'm going to switch over to my calculator and finish this problem that way. Okay, so here's what I'm doing though. I just typed in negative 30 and I pressed enter so that I have an answer from before. So now I'm going to take my formula and I'm going to use parentheses because my entire numerator has to be in parentheses. So I'm going to do 2 plus my answer that came before, close that off, and divide that by 2. Let's double check me. I should get negative 14. So far I like that. Now I'm going to do second enter. So I'm going to take 2 and add my answer that came before. So my answer that came before was negative 14. If I divide that by 2, I should get negative 6. All right, so far I've got my first 3 terms. So a real quick way to do this is keep going like this. Here's my 4th term. There's my 5th term. Here's my 6th term. Here's my 7th term. Here's my 8th term. There's my 9th term. And there's my 10th term. So let's convert that to a fraction. And so I'm going to end up with 31 over 16 for a sub 10. All right, let me just go back over that first step because that was the crucial thing. So when you have a formula that is a series, but it's not geometric or arithmetic, what you can do is you can take negative 30 and store that as an answer. So once you hit enter, it becomes the answer. So then you take your expression, 2 plus your answer that came before, and divide that by 2. And then if you just keep going, you get all the numbers in your sequence. Pretty cool.